Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology 17.3. Alright, in this video we're going to talk about the joints. Alright, joints 嘅中文呢就係關節啦。Alright, so in the previous sections we've talked about the skeleton. 我哋嘅骨骼啦，其實 first of all they are strong and rigid， 係比較硬嘅，比較強嘅。But at the same time it needs to be flexible， 佢需要有一個靈活性啦 ，so that we can move. It can help us have movements. Alright, 我哋能夠喐動啦，移動啦。So how is this possible? Alright, these two concepts， 一個 rigid 硬邦邦嘅，另外一個 flexible. These two concepts seems like the opposite， 聽落好似相反嘅。So this is actually done by the joints， 係靠關節啦。Alright, so we need to get this word very clear. Otherwise, you're going to mix up with another word we're going to talk about in 17.4 and 5. 得唔得？呢隻字要小心嘅。So joint is a place 係 where two or more bones meet together. Okay? So whenever two bones meet together, there must be a joint. 一定會有個 joint 嘅。Alright? So some of them are immovable. That means they cannot move. Okay? So one of the example we've talked about this about the skull. 喺我哋嗰個頭顱嗰度啦 it is made up of 8 bones. Okay? And the joints are immovable. And some of them, and of course most of them, are movable. And this section we're going to talk about the movable joints. Alright? So before talking about the types 一啲嘅種類啦 of 呢個 movable joints, we're going to talk about the structure first. 就會講到呢個嘅結構嘅。Okay? So look at this diagram. It's very easy for now. Okay? So you'll see the bone here and here. And at the end surface of the bone, end surface 最末端嗰度啦 you'll be able to see the cartilage. Cartilage in Chinese 就係軟骨啦。Okay? So the functions we've mentioned about them 就係 absorb shock reduce friction 減少啲摩擦啦。Alright? And one more thing, prevent the bones from wearing away. Wearing away 嘅中文就代表磨蝕啦。Okay? Prevent the bones from wearing away. 好啦， but what else? So there are some new structures, 有啲新嘅 structure 啦。So just now we've talked about this whole thing as a joint. Okay? 成嚿嘢先至係 joint 嘅。But when we're connecting two bones, okay? 聽實咯喎，係 connecting two bones. So there is this ligament. Ligament 嘅中文you can put it down in Chinese, alright? 就係韌帶啦 alright? So this one actually helps hold the bones together. Okay? So it's joining two bones. 佢係連接住兩嚿骨嘅 alright? So it is tough and mainly it is preventing dislocation. 指到到呢隻字啦 dislocation. That means 甩臼啦 Okay? So it's joining two bones together and make sure that they are in position. 佢哋係啱嘅位置 prevent dislocation from happening. Alright? But at the same time, this one may sound a bit strange to you for now. Okay? 我哋就會講啦 this ligament, okay, 呢個韌帶 is actually elastic. So when we talk about the ligament, you will know that athletes will usually suffer from the breakage of ligaments. Okay? They may tear apart. 呢個韌帶咧可能會拉傷，可能會撕裂啦。Okay? So that is mainly because they have not done enough warm-up exercise or they have too intensive training. 得唔得？一係就有唔足夠嘅熱身運動啦，或者係太過激烈啦、太過劇烈啦個運動。Alright, so ligaments may also still, although they're elastic, 即使係有彈性嘅話咧 it will still tear apart. It will still be damaged. 得唔得？好啦 and then the last two parts. Okay, so this one is less important. So this one, as you can see, is the blue area. Oh, sorry, it's the green area. Okay, the green area. 咁呢個 green area 咩咧 It's just like connecting everything together. Okay, so there is no air inside here, of course. 你唔會揾到任何嘅空氣啦。Okay, so inside the ligaments, you will see this fibrous capsule. So fibrous, what word is it related to? 似啲咩字啊？似 fiber 啊嘛。Alright, so it's just some fiber enclosing the joints. Okay, so it's like some fiber, 一啲嘅纖維啦 wrapping around the joints. Okay, and the last one is about this blue area. So this blue area is as important as the cartilage. 同呢個軟骨咧一模一樣咁重要嘅。Alright, so Let's say this word first. 我哋叫做 synovial membrane. Synovial membrane. So synovial membrane is of course a membrane 啦，但係啦 and it secretes this fluid. 我哋就會叫做 synovial fluid. Okay? So this synovial fluid, if you look at the Chinese, you will see it's 滑液, and you will know, of course, it means it is a lubricant. Okay? So if it is a lubricant, it acts just like the cartilage. 同一個原理一模一樣啦 to reduce friction and, of course, prevent the bones from wearing away. Okay? But at the same time, 佢都會 nourish 嘅 nourish 呢個嘅 cartilage cells. Nourish means 就代表佢會係滋潤佢啦。So how is it nourishing? That means it is providing oxygen, nutrients to the cartilage cells. Alright? 好啦，所以啦 in total, you will see this whole thing is a joint. So once again, a joint can only be found when two or more bones meet together. 當兩個或者以上骨遇到對方啦。And another key point is the ligament. Ligament is joining two bones together. Okay? It is elastic, but it will still break. 佢仍然都會爛嘅。And then at the tip of the bone, at the end surface of the bone, you will find this cartilage. Okay? Yeah, the more important part is this synovial membrane and synovial fluid. Okay? Also reducing friction and nourishing the cartilage. Okay? 最尾啦 the green area are just some fibers. Okay? So filling or wrapping around the joints. So this is the real diagram. So when you look at this type of diagram, you should first of all, you should spot the bones. 你應該第一下就望到呢個骨頭嘅 the two bones. Alright, very clear. And what are these areas? The white area. So that means they are, they could be the pores. 佢可能係一啲嘅窿窿啦。And remember, these areas are not the air. OK， 一定唔會有空氣入邊嘅。OK， so they will be filled with fluids. For example， 一啲嘅 water 啦，一啲嘅 body fluid 啦，得唔得 ？OK。And in between, at the end surface 喺最面嗰陣啦 you will see some lighter color layer， 有一層係淺啲顏色嘅 ，we call this the cartilage. In between 嘅 cartilage 啦，你就會見到 synovial fluid 啦 ，synovial fluid. Okay, and last but not least, you should be able to remember this area or this layer. Okay, this shape 嘅，你見到好似半個 S 咁嘅 shape 啦 ，this is the ligament. So joining one bone and to the other bone. Okay? 好，冇問題嘅話 we're going to talk about the movable joints. 一啲嘅可以喐動啦嘅 joints 啦。So there are two types of joints we're going to talk about. The first one is hinge joints. Hinge 中文就係鉸鏈嘅關節啦。So 鉸鏈 so it's just like a door hinge. Okay? So most of you will not be having this kind of hinge right now, nowadays. This one is just like moving up and down. Okay, so some doors will still have this hinge. Let's see if you have one at home. Okay, so remember the key difference with another one is it allows the bone to move in one plane only. What does it mean by plane? It's not like aeroplane. 唔係一個飛機啦。Plane means 一個平面啦。Alright, it allows the bones to move in one plane only. Okay, so please remember some examples. One of them is the elbow, 手臂啦 and the other one is the knee, 你嘅腳啦。Okay, 你一個嘅膝頭哥個位啦。So knee jerk, okay, is the area. These two areas, so just imagine, or you can try moving it right now. So when you move it, you can only move it to one plane. For example, you can move your arms, move your elbow up and down. 你可以向上向下喐你嘅手臂。But can you move it like left and right? Not really. Alright, so this is the meaning by 呢個嘅 allowing the movement in one plane only 啦。呢個就代表佢淨係能夠一個平面咁樣運作啦。And then the next one is the ball and socket joint. Okay, so some of us may also know that it is also called the ball hinge joints. Okay, 亦都可以叫 ball hinge 嘅。咁呢個球窩關節啦。So please better use this word. It's called the ball and socket joints. Okay, so it's like one of the bone is ending with a ball shape. 其中一嚿啦就係球體 and the other one is ending in a cup shaped. Okay, so that's why we call it the ball and the socket. Alright, ball and the socket. Socket, this word, if you are having a good memory, you should remember it's like the area holding our eyes. 好似俾我哋嘅隻眼啦 Okay, the area 就 holding our eyes 咁樣啦 This area is called the socket. Alright, so this ball and socket joints, the difference is that could allow the bone to move in different planes，OK，many planes， 而且 likely 係 all directions 嘅，OK 係任何方向咁滯噶啦。So the two examples will be the shoulder joints。shoulder joints 你嗰個嘅手今次真係手臂啦 ，OK 手臂個位啦。So this shoulder joint is like between the humerus， 你中間最手嗰個最厚嗰個骨啦 ，the humerus and the pectoral girdle。The thickest bone is the humerus, and the pectoral girdle is like the upper shoulder area, and you have a broad and flat bone. Okay, that is the pectoral girdle. 一個比較平啦，比較闊嘅骨，嗰個就係一個pectoral girdle 啦。Alright, so that is where you can find those shoulder joints. So when you move your shoulder, you can move it up and down, you can move it left and right. So it's like in any plane. 得唔得？ So another one is the hip joint. Hip is like 你嘅臀部啦。Alright, so it is connecting the femur, the thickest bone of your leg, and the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle again is like in your hip, the flat and broad bone. Alright, so two joints, shoulder joints and hip joints. These two are the examples. So this is a very good diagram, okay? As you can see, the two hinge joints, okay, 你望到 hinge joints up. So one of them is this elbow joints, and the other one will be your knee joints, okay, allowing one plane movement. 另外一個啦就係 ball and socket joints. So you can find it for the shoulder joints or like a hip joints. Alright, so it's allowing movement in different planes. 唔同嘅平面啦 you can also do it. And then the last part, we're going to introduce what is arthritis. 自己都要知啦 arthritis 就係關節炎啦。So 關節炎係咩意思啊 What does the last word mean? Okay, this one. So this one is actually another word called the inflammation. 自己都讀啦 inflammation 就係解發炎啊。Alright, so one of the common type is called the osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis 咁係咩嚟嘅咧？就係代表就係你嘅 cartilage， 你嘅 end surface 啦係 wears away， 佢係被侵蝕，佢係被磨蝕咗啦。So therefore, after your cartilage is worn off， 佢係被磨蝕咗之後啦 ，the bones will rub against each other， 佢就會開始磨對方啦。And that one, when your bone is rubbing against each other, there are some nerves nearby, right？ 你身邊會有啲神經線啦 ，and it results in great pain， 超級痛啦。Alright, and of course, in that case, please underline these three words. This is always used in answers. 經常性會攞嚟用嘅，就係我哋會講啦 ，the joints becomes less flexible， 冇咁靈活啦。Okay, less flexible. And in this case, usually we replace it. 我哋會係裝咗一個新嘅入去啦，就會變 artificial joints. Artificial joints 就係一個人工嘅關節啦。Okay. So another one is called the rheumatoid. So rheumatoid arthritis is not so related to this chapter. 同呢一個嘅課題啦就唔太相關嘅。Rheumatoid arthritis 中文你見到啦，類風濕關節炎啦。So this one is actually quite like another disease. Okay, so this is an autoimmune disease. Immune disease 都係佢一啲嘅免疫反應啊。Alright, so it's like your immune system of your own body. 你自己身體入邊嘅免疫反應啦。is attacking the joints. 佢攻擊緊嗰個嘅關節㗎。Alright, so where is it attacking? It is actually attacking the synovial membrane. So the synovial membrane is like secreting a synovial fluid. 佢嘔一啲嘅滑液出嚟啊嘛。And in that case, you're damaging it. In that case 就發生咩事咧？ You form a swollen 一個脹起咗啦 ，deformed 變咗形㗎啦 ，and painful joints. 咁你個關節咧就會比較痛啦。Alright, so these two are quite common, and in Hong Kong, it's even more common for the second one. Okay, the first one, osteoarthritis, this happens to like elderly more. Okay, so the last part, these two, it's better if you can remember these two differences. It is often asked. We say the degree of movement. Degree means 你個可以喐嘅程度係幾多啦。Alright, so when it asks you about the degree of movement, you don't just answer me less degree, lower degree, higher degree, more degree. It's not like that. 唔會咁樣答我嘅。你答我係 allow movement 啦 in one plane 或者 many planes. Okay, so if possible, please try to remember some examples as well. 咁記一啲例子啦。 Okay, if there is no question, then I'll give you 5 seconds and you can pause the video and finish these questions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so let's get started. 咁我哋就會講到啦，其實我哋就會講 ，OK, first question, all joints 係 movable. Of course, the answer is obviously 好明顯地啦 is no. Okay, so some joints are immovable. For example, 你嘅 skull 嗰度啦，會 made up of 8 bones. Okay, remember 就係 bones and bones in between them 連接骨頭與骨頭之間嘅 is a joint. Okay, and then hinge joints. Okay, so the worst one, I don't know if you can say it like this, okay, the less flexible one, okay, 冇咁靈活嗰個啦。The hinge joints only allow the bone to move in one direction，係咪淨向住一個方向呢 ？Direction，okay， 指導到啦 ，direction 係解方向。Is it allowing one direction? The answer is no. Okay, so it's not like either left or right，唔係一係左一係右。And we're now talking about is one plane，一個平面。Alright. So now let's move on to question number 3, and once again, X, Y, and Z. Try to find out what they are, first of all. EZ is like the end surface of the bone, so it is the cartilage, like 軟骨啦. So Y is in between the cartilage, okay, so it's the synovial fluid, or synovial membrane, doesn't matter. 好啦 ，X 嗰度啦 ，X is of course the bone, okay? So what joint is this? This one is a ball and socket joint. You should be able to spot this as well. This is not a hinge joint. 好啦 so what is the question asking you? 佢就話啦，邊一個會 help reduce friction？ 可以減少到呢個摩擦力咧 ？Of course, the bone will not help reduce friction, so X must be wrong. Okay, so either A or C. Y, the synovial membrane, must be correct, and Z is the cartilage. So the answer is C. Y and Z only. Okay, so this is the end of this video. And we'll move on and I'll see you in the next section, 17.4. Bye bye.